So another thing you do in the last class, we stopped at voice control and modulation and how you can enhance your presentation skills using different kind of voices, raising the pitch of your voice, falling it, using different tones and different styles to show different moods and projecting your voice, the volume, raising your voice loudly, how to use your voice to enhance your presentation skills. So today we are starting with engaging your audience. Now we said it at the beginning of this model that the audience are the main reason why you're presenting in the first place. So because you're presenting for them, you need to engage them. You don't want a situation whereby you have a boring atmosphere and the audience you are meant to engage are bored, are uninterested, dissatisfied, pissed off, and all the whatnot. So you need to engage your audience. Now, how? The first thing you do or you should do is to ask questions. Ask your audience questions. You do this at times, you do this at the start of your presentation. Engage them. You can start your presentation, like I said, when we're talking about structuring your presentation with a question. So this would raise their anticipation about what they want to learn from you or what they want to hear from you. So you can engage them by asking questions. And when you have asked like two or three people the same questions, now they want the answer. They want you to tell them, are they right or are they wrong? So that will keep them posted, that will keep them interested, to keep them to keep them tuned to want to listen and to want to get the answer you have asked them. You want to know if they were right in answering your questions, and if they were wrong, what the right answer, the correct answer was. So you encourage participants to be engaging or to be listening or to be a part of your presentation by asking questions. So it makes the audience to be involved. It keeps their attention in whatever you are telling or presenting. Now, the second way you can engage your audience is to encourage interaction. Now, you see some people when they say, tell your neighbor this, tell your neighbor you're happy, tell your neighbor don't be. So, keeping the audience engaged, you encourage them to interact with it. Now, ask the next person, tell your next person, just to ensure that there is interaction. At times, you have presenters that speak and they expect you to complete the statement. So they at times use they use a proverb, an idiom that is common, and at the same time they start and they expect you to finish. This is majorly where we're using, let's say Yoruba, we start the away and the audience will complete the away for you. It might be a common statement, a general statement, something that is known, a norm to everybody. Like it's teaching time, everybody answers saves nine. Things like that helps to keep your audience engaged. You can decide to use different kinds of methods. So it depends on the format you use. Methods like you can make a poll, you can start a voting session. Who agrees with this point, who do not agree, and by that the audience is they are engaged in whatever you are taking them. At times it can be a question and answer session or even a short activity to make the presentation more dynamic. At times you call them out in trying to make an analysis or trying to experiment something. You might call two, three, four, five of them out in trying to experiment. And while you're calling them out, in some people's mind they want to be called, and in some people's mind they don't want to be called. All of this keep them engaged in whatever you are presenting. And at the end of the day, some people want to see what is this experiment about, what is it getting at, what is it driving at, what is it trying to pull, what's it doing, so what's the result. And it keeps them engaged and involved in your presentation. And the last thing I'm going to mention here to help you engage your audience is to address the audience concern. When you're speaking and you are presenting a solution that is off this planet, then their mind is off. They don't want to hear it, they don't want to listen again. Why? It's because the solution is not within the reach of the ordinary man. It's let's say you are presenting a Nigerian situation and you're proffering a Chinese solution. At times you have some solutions like, okay, let's say we are talking about health now, and telling us, okay, fine, there are some apps that can be solution to this problem, and then you're giving us the Chinese name for those herbs, even though those herbs can be found in our local areas, because you have you have brought it out in a way that it is not connected to the audience, then their mind is off. But if after you have done all the paparazzi, you just tell them, I'm just talking about a fogbure, like, oh, so all these Chinese terminologies is just this water leaf that we are used to. So when you want to engage them like that, give solutions that are within reach. Solutions to the problem that are within reach. Acknowledge common doubt. Uh, don't shave it away like it doesn't exist. This is what is a common fear. This is what is a common knowledge. So acknowledge it, but give a better way of addressing it. Don't shy away from it. At the same time, don't deal with it as if it is non-important. To you, it might be non-important, but still see it in the light as in which they see it. At the same time, give them what you want them to see about that thing. So acknowledge their concern about that thing and respond to them in a proactive manner. That is the ways by which you can engage your audience. To cut it short, so ask them questions to keep them engaged, encourage them to be interactive, and address the audience concern. So we'll go to the next one, and that is handling nerves and anxiety. It is a common knowledge that stage fright um, is one very, very important factor in doing presentation. No matter how small or how large the audience is, somebody who is not used to presenting will always have fright. So you have this nervousness, you have this excitement negatively, because you are not used to the you're not used to coming out to present, you're not used to coming out to talk, to speak to people. So your anxiety grows, you're anxious, you don't know how you're going to be received. It's like the earth is going to open up and swallow you. It's like you're not going to leave that place alive. That's how it feels. But how do you handle it? What are those things you do to be able to present without this nervousness, without this anxiety, without this anxiousness, without this fright or fear? How do you overcome them? So we're just going to mention three things. The first one is prepare well. If you know what you are there to say, you've practiced. like you have mentioned above, you have practiced very well in front of the mirror, in front of a smaller group that you are familiar with, in front of people who are your friends, your family, people who can tell you, no, 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 do. Say, no, no, don't say that. We say it this way. That's not where you can easily forget and remind yourself or be reminded without fear. After you have done all of those, then the confidence should come from the fact that you have done enough preparation. Your facts and figures are gotten correctly. You're not coming to say false, giving false information, or to say what is not right or what is not it. And you have you have prepared yourself using the best language possible to suit the audience that is there. Then it's easier for you. So the better you know the materials you have with you, your presentation, whatever you want to present, the less nervous you feel. So prepare very well. Be very, very sure of your preparations before you come out. Two, use relaxation techniques. How do you relax? Deep breathing. That's the first thing. Put your hand on your chest and breathe in like counting four. And breathe out. Still counting four. Breathe in and breathe out. Still counting four. So by the time you are done breathing in and out, the nerves would have been calmed to a large extent. Then do what we call visualization. Your eyes should go around. Your mind should imagine what you want for yourself at that time. Let your mind wander. Let your mind see you being applauded, being cheered on, not being booed or jeered at. Let your mind see you being cheered on. Yes, so this visualization helps. Now, another thing you can do to relax yourself is what we call the grounding exercises. This helps. Grounding exercise. If you feel you're so nervous, then you ground yourself. Let me give you an example of a grounding exercise. You can go and research more. You use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 techniques. Now, where you are, use your eyes to capture 5 things. Your ears to listen to 4 things. Your mind to remember 3 things. Your hand to feel 2 things, and your tongue to taste 1 thing. So while you're doing all of those, you forget the fear and the nervousness. You forget the anxiety. So you come back to focus on what you are there to do. So grounding exercises helps you to calm yourself. At times, your grounding exercise, you can meditate while you're there. Just let your mind wander. Meditate on the best way to go about it. And before you're back from your meditation, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, that fear, that jittery will be out of the window. Then the last one I'm going to talk about here is to practice what we call positive self-talk. We have discussed this when we were talking about understanding the imposter syndrome, overcoming self-doubt. So if you do not doubt yourself, you believe in your judgment, you believe in the decisions you are making, you have confidence in your appearance, in your pronunciation of words, You have confidence in your preparations, in the speech you want to come and deliver, in whatever information you want to come and give to the public or to the audience, in whatever you want to say. If you do not disbelieve yourself, let me put it that way, if you have a positive thought, self thoughts about yourself, then you can handle anxiety. It will not be a big deal being nervous or jittering. So, what are those things you say to yourself? I can do this. How am I allow myself to be bullied? Yes, I can do this and still get cheered on. I'm here to inform, and I'm going to do that perfectly. Talk to yourself positively. I'm awesome in my own way. And on this podium today, I'll show my awesomeness. Yes, I can be amazing if I want to be amazing. And I'm here to show I'm amazing. I'm a wonderful person. Tell yourself things that are positive. Those things will spur you on. They will turn you into who you never believed you can be. So they bring the strength out in you, and they will remind you that you are wonderful. So replace all negative thoughts with positive affirmations and let them remind you of your strengths, not your weaknesses. So those three ways I'm going to mention about handling nerves and anxiety. Prepare well, use relaxation techniques. I mentioned of the 5 4 3 2 1 technique. Also practice positive self-talk. Make it a second nature to yourself. Every day say 3 4 5 6 7 things that are positive to yourself about yourself. Not minding the fact that you have weaknesses, not minding the fact that you have negativities. So the more positive talks you say to yourself, the more you turn your negativity to positivity. The more you see yourself in a positive realm, and the more confident you are about yourself. Now, next one is to adapt to the environment. If you want to have a smooth presentation, then you need to get used to that environment. This is the first time you're presenting there. This is the first time you want to make a presentation in front of these people. This is not your first time presenting, but these people, this is the first time you're facing them. This is the first time you want to face them, you want to present, you want to show yourself to them, you want to talk to them. This is not the first time you're talking to other people, but this set of people, you're on this place. So you have to acclimatize. You have to get used to the environment. You have to adapt. So the first thing you do is familiarize yourself with the venue, meaning you have to get to that venue ahead of time. It's going to spoil your show coming late. Being a first timer in that place, that's the first time you're getting to the place, that's the first time you're meeting that audience. You're not coming late, it doesn't make sense. So you arrive at the venue earlier, get comfortable with the room. You can enter into the podium, go to that stage that you want to present ahead. Now, do the rehearsals, go back and forth, walk right, center, left, walk the podium, acclimatize yourself with the podium, get used to the stage, stay in front of, face the empty seats like you have done this before. So before people start coming in, you have been to that podium, you have stayed on the podium, you have faced the audience, even though in their absence, and this makes it easier for you when you want to come out to actually do your presentation. It becomes an easier job. So get used to the venue. 2, test equipment before you start it. Make sure the equipment you're going to be using are in complete shape. in complete good shape. If you need to use a projector, ensure that you have tested the projector together with your laptop and the two are aligned and they are giving you a smooth flow. It is not when you start your presentation that the projector will be giving us some signals that are not it, or the laptop or whatever. Test your equipment before you go there. The microphone, if you're using a megaphone, a microphone, a wireless, a wired, whichever one, test your, and any other technical tools that you'll be using to avoid last minute issues. So it will not be an issue of sorry, we have to make do with the voice of the speaker. Please just keep quiet. So you hear, and at the end of the day, you have to start stressing yourself just to make your presentation. Some people are good at it. Either they're using a microphone or they use their voice alone. They still captivate their audience, but at least to enhance the presentation flow, make sure you test your equipment. Lastly, plan for contingencies. These can happen at any time. Always have a plan B, a backup plan in case of any technical issues. There is no time you can be completely sure of non-failure. Anything can go faulty anytime. After you have tested and you have done all what you're supposed to have done ahead, anything can happen at any time. So always have a plan B in case this happens. We'll do this. For example, if you are relying heavily on your projector and you're not able to get it, then you can print handouts so that if the projector just went blank, then they can still follow with the handout that they have in the rants. So these are some of the ways to adapt to the environment when you're making a presentation. Next is to engage in active listening during question and answer session. After you're done with your presentation and it's time for question and answer, how do you engage in active listening? The first one is listen carefully to the questions. Yes, every time a question is asked, make sure that you listen carefully to the question. Ensure that you listen carefully. And what I do most times when it is question and answer period like that is I start noting them. Question one, I just pick a key point and I note it what to do, because if you're trying to write everything down, then you might miss some important points. So just listen and note, listen and note, listen and note. So even if you have 20, 25, 30 questions, you have all of them where you have noted them and you can be able to answer them, all of them without issues. And even if you forget, you have somebody to remind you. Forgetting is still human. You're not a superhuman being because you're presenting. Don't forget. You're just going to be an effective speaker, not a perfect speaker. So it's possible you forget something while you are noting the questions being asked, and somebody reminds you, don't take offense and don't feel you are imperfect because of that. Actually, you're not out there to be a perfect speaker. You're only out there to be an effective speaker, to just have a smooth to have a presentation that is superb, excellent, wonderful, not perfect. So don't forget that. So second is be honest in your answering of questions. If you do not know the answer to a question, please, it gives your name integrity. Just simply say, I don't know, but don't worry, I'll help you do. It will also help me too. I'll do a research on this. Admit you don't know rather than giving false answers. And at the end of the day, the person you are giving a false answer to gets the correct answer somewhere and your name is tarnished, your image is tarnished. Admit you don't know or admit you've forgotten, and that is better for you. We can now offer to follow up on that thing rather than attempting to guess or giving false information. Number three, and this is the last one I'm going to stay on this, stay calm and compose while the question and answer is going on. Don't fidget because somebody is asking you a question. No. Handle challenging questions with grace. Don't be defensive. If you do not know a question, just like we have said, admit you do not know and prefer to follow up with a better research on it. And if you do know, say it to the extent to which you know. You're not supposed to be an island of knowledge anyway. So say it to the extent to which you know. So if somebody else knows better, you can invite the person to give an addendum. Yes, in that um audience, there are people who will not know. There are people who know more than you, and that's why they want to come to hear you. Is it what they know that you're going to say? There are people who are on the same par with your knowledge. It's just that you have the opportunity to come forward to present to them. So don't see yourself as you're better off. And that's why you have to have a good positive image. You have to always be assertive. What you know is what you know. You have to always ensure that you are not an imposter. You don't fake who you are not, or you don't fake what you don't know. So we have treated all of these. So it helps you to build your confidence. It helps you to boost your integrity, your honor outside. You're not faking who you are not. You're not faking what you don't know. You're only saying what you know to the extent to which you know. Tomorrow you might know more than that, but today this is what I know. So don't defend what you don't know. Defend only what you know and answer questions with grace. And thank the person for their question and answer. So if you have somebody who wants to help you chip in one or two things, accept them, thank them for helping out, and that it doesn't put you down in any way. Yes, you even had more to your knowledge. And lastly, reflect and seek feedback. It's very, very good. Always reflect and seek feedback from whatever presentation you do. So, what are those things you do to be able to reflect and seek feedback? Record and review your presentation before you go out. Record what they have said, record yourself, listen to yourself. After you're done listening to yourself or watching yourself, then review it. Where is your mistake or where are your mistakes? Then improve on those areas from whatever way you have made mistake, either in your speech, in your body language, in your non-verbal cues, your use of the eye contact, wherever you have done some things that needs to be improved, improve on them. Then two, ask for constructive feedbacks from those people that have watched you practiced, those people that have seen your rehearsals. Ensure that you always get constructive feedbacks from them. Invite feedbacks from trusted colleagues or mentors to gain insights you might not have noticed. It's not everything you see. So ask people who have listened. Even on the D day of your presentation, you said ask people to give feedback, because that's not going to be the end of your presentation. After today, you're still going to be having more presentations to correct this, so that you can be able to do those subsequent ones in a better way. Then identify areas for improvement after they have been pointed out to you. Set specific goals based on the feedback. At times, somebody like me, I fidget when I talk fast. So I learned to speak slowly. At the same time, I still talk fast. But I just ensure that I'm not fidgeting and I speak faster anymore. So ensure that you speak more slowly, it calms you. Yes. Then make more of eye contact. It helps you to be able to read people's faces. You know when people are getting pissed off, when they are getting bored, when they are actually following, when whatever you're saying is interesting, when they see no reason being there again, you see it on their faces. Or improving on your slide design. It can be anything. So ensure that you identify areas for improvement after you are done with your presentation. So or ensure that you do self-reflect and seek feedback. Record yourself, watch yourself, or listen to yourself. Then review what they have seen. Ask for people to give you feedback. You are not an island, so let other people give you what they also feel as recommendations, where they see feel you should improve on, or where they feel you should. It's okay like this. Just do this. Just do this. Get more constructive feedback from people. And lastly, the areas that are mentioned for improvement, make sure you identify them and you work on them. Now, build confidence through related experience. Build confidence through related experience. Take every opportunity to present. Yes, once they're able to repeat the same experience, just like I have said, if this is your first time, it's definitely not going to be the last time. So, through repeated experience, you build your confidence. The more you speak in front of your classmates, the more you speak in front of your colleagues, the more you speak in front of your team teammates, the more you keep speaking and speaking, the more you keep building your confidence, the more you keep getting better at speaking in front of people. So take every opportunity to present. So the more you present, the more comfortable you feel. So take advantage of every opportunity to have. Today you speak bad grammar, wrong sentence construction, word pronunciation, wrong word pronunciation. Tomorrow, if you do your review and recording very well, or you get enough constructions and constructive feedbacks, then you know where to work on tomorrow. So when it is time for, you know that this sentence, no, 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 that sentence was a bomb. Don't use it. So tomorrow you use a better sentence rather than the last one, the one you used the last time, and so on like that. To track your progress, always ensure you track your progress. Celebrate your improvements. Look at it. How is my the use of my tenses now better? How how well have I gone using figurative expressions when I speak? They are better now. Okay, how well do I avoid using filler words? I still use filler words. I still need to work on that. Okay, how well can I handle being nervous when I speak? I think I'm working on that. I think I'm improving. So do that. Track your progress. You have to set your goals. You have to know what you want to achieve. So on your journey to building confidence, you need to highlight and outline those things you want to work towards so that at the end of the journey, you can tell yourself, okay, fine, this on this, I can score myself 95. Yeah, I'm still at 72. Yeah, I can give myself 80. Yeah, this is 100 because you're tracking your progress. So confidence builds when you see concrete progress. When you are able to tell yourself, I use more idioms now when I talk. Now my opening remarks are always bam. At times when I tell stories, oh, no, 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 people are so captivated. That gives you that confidence. It's from the inside. You just realize that it's just flowing. So that is what you need to do to be able to build more confidence? Ensure that you have repeated experience of the same thing. Either it's speaking with a large audience, speaking with a small team, in small audience, within your workspace, outside, even when it is just one on one. Ensure you're just having this experience every time. Ensure you repeat it. I have to speak for the next 15 minutes. On a daily basis, tell yourself, okay, today I'm going to speak for the next 5 minutes without any filler words. Ensure you do that. And make sure that you're always providing an opportunity. Whenever an opportunity provides itself, just grab it. And by the time you do that, you'll be sure that whenever you have an opportunity to present, your presentation skills would have gone higher than you have expected. And before you know it, people will want to always listen to you. So, with this, we are going to wrap it up here on this module of enhancing your presentation skills to be able to build your confidence. We'll meet in next class where we'll be discussing another topic, or in the next module where we'll be discussing managing your presentation anxiety. What are those things to do when you deliver your speeches or your presentations? Till then, always ensure that everything you have learned, keep using them. Keep using them so that your confidence level will keep soaring. Take time to practice, review, ensure that you seek to always handle your nervousness every time. And before you know it, you'll be a better speaker. So, till we meet next class, be a confident speaker.